Hi, everybody. So today I have a wrap up for you for my From Manhattan to Stars Hollow TBR for January, December and January. This is an ongoing reading project with me and Kathleen where we read books that are from a reading list that is based on books Rory Gilmore would read, or books that are reminiscent of personalities of the Gilmore Girls characters, or memoirs that are by actors from Friends and Gilmore Girls. The first book I wanted to talk about is Have I Told You This Already? This is Lauren Graham's essay collection. It's a memoir and essays. That was published in 2017. She wrote another memoir a couple of years before that talks about her experiences on Gilmore Girls and parenthood. My favorite essays in this book are Ryan Gosling Cannot Confirm, Actory Factory, Squirrel Signs, I Feel Bad About Nora Ephron's Neck, and New York is a Person. What I like best about the New York is a Person essay is about the descriptions of New York City, and it makes me really want to go back there. And I read this book at around the same time I read Nora Ephron's memoir, I Feel Bad About My Neck, which was on this list I found of books that describe Gilmore Girls characters, and it's a book about getting older, and it fits Emily Gilmore's character. The next book is a book I got for Christmas from Matt. It's called The Pumpkin Spice Cafe by Laura Gilmore. This series is basically similar to either the Love Life Farm series by B.K. Borison or the When in Rome series by Sarah Adams, only is set in Ontario, Canada, in a small town. And these books go through the seasons, much like the Love Life Farm books do. This first book in the series is set during the fall time, and it's about a girl named Jeannie who takes over her aunt's cafe called the Pumpkin Spice Cafe, and she falls in love with a local farmer named Noah, and the build-up of their relationship is really sweet. I gave this book 4 stars, and I gave the Lauren Graham essay collection book 4 stars. This next book was recommended to me by Olive at A Book Olive. It's called The Magical Language of Others by E.J. Coe, and similar to Crying in H Mart by Michelle Zauner. It is a book about a mother-daughter relationship, and Crying in H Mart is by Michelle Zauner, who is the lead singer of the band Japanese Breakfast, and it is about her relationship with her mom when she has cancer. And in this book, the author is in her teens, and her parents have to go back to Korea for political reasons. So basically, her mother writes her a bunch of letters, which are translated from Korean to English in this book. And she's basically parenting her daughter from afar. I have a hard time giving memoirs star ratings on Goodreads because they are it's hard to basically rate the story of somebody else's life, but I gave this one 4.5 stars, and this one 3.5 to 4 stars. The reason for the lower ranking on this book is because, yes, I love the story of the mother-daughter relationship, but I would have also, like Olive said in her review when she reviewed this, I would have also wanted her to talk more about her creative outlet, which is her music, and how she got started in music, and like how she formed a band Japanese Breakfast, and how she got inspired for her songs. The next book on this TBR that I want to talk about is The Wrong Holiday. I heard about this book because I follow the author on Instagram. Her name is Kat Ashton, and when I saw that she wrote a book to memorialize Matthew Perry, I was so excited and I bought it right away. So basically, this book is full of references to Friends. For example, the main male character, Ben, is named after Ross's son. Lainey Langford, the female main character, has Matthew Perry's middle name as her last name. And there are tons and tons of references to all of the actors from Friends, all of the characters from Friends. And I was actually inspired to name 2 characters in my fan fiction, my Friends and Gilmore Girls fan fiction. The 5 Musketeers, The Adventures of Jenny, Lane, Paris, Rory, and Savannah, that are named after 2 characters from Friends. Nora, who is Chandler's mother, the romance author, who actually gets a shout out in a previous chapter because when Jack and Judy take Savannah and Jenny, who is the myself insert character, to the Chilton graduation, they meet Paris's grandparents, Charles and Grace, who are original characters. Paris's grandfather is named after Charles Bing, who is Chandler's dad. And in the chapter where that's based on the chapter where Chandler and Monica go to Ohio to meet the birth mother of their baby, Jenny's school friends, Nora and Kathleen, are named after Nora Bing, who is played by Morgan Fairchild, and Kathy, Joey and Chandler's love interest from season 4, who is played by Paget Brewster, or Kathleen Turner, the actress who plays Charles Bing, who is Chandler's dad, and also the voice of Jessica Rabbit in Who Framed Roger Rabbit. For those of you who did not know, she was also in Marley and Me as the obedience school teacher. The next book is a book I got for Christmas from my mother-in-law, Sally. It's called I Was Born for This, and it's by the same author as the Heartstopper graphic novels. I heard something that the Heartstopper graphic novels are getting banned because they're LGBTQ+, and that really makes me frustrated. But this book, I heard about this book through a post I found on Instagram about books that are descriptive of Gilmore Girls characters. And of course, if you can't guess, this book is based on Lane. It's about a girl who sneaks out of the house to go see a rock band play. So basically, this guy is the lead singer in a rock band. His name is Johnny. And then the girl's name is Angel. And basically, Angel is like Lane because she sneaks out of the house to go see this guy's band play, and like Lane has to sneak around and hide her rock and roll hobby from her mom because she doesn't approve of it. And I gave this book 4.5 stars. We're getting into buddy reads now. So, as I was saying at the beginning of the video, Kathleen and I have planned out a whole TBR for the whole year, which are either books that Rory read on Gilmore Girls or Gilmore Girls A Year in the Life, or books that have movies that star actors in them from Gilmore Girls. Like, for example, this book, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants, which is our pick for April. I bought myself a copy ahead of time so I could read it ahead of time because I haven't read it since it first came out and I need to annotate it so I can prepare for our discussion. This book came out in 2001. The movie came out the summer after. And it's about a group of 4 friends, in the movie, the four friends, Lena, Bridget, Carmen, and Tibby, are played by Alexis Bledel, America Ferrera, Blake Lively, who was recently in the Ends With Us movie, and Amber Tamblyn, who wrote this horror book called Any Man that I haven't read yet, but I've heard it's supposed to be good. So Kathleen and I are going to be reading this in April, and I'm just going to share my rating and not exactly my review, because I'm going to review it once we both read it. So this book is obviously 4 stars. The next book we read for February is The Third Gilmore Girl. This is Kelly Bishop's memoir that came out last fall. And she basically chronicles her whole life. And the thing I found most intriguing about her was the fact that she was the person who headlined the role of Sheila in A Chorus Line, who is one of the lead singers in the At the Ballet song. And she basically connects that song to her own life, because she had a hard time getting along with her dad. And it's really powerful and emotional when she talks about that part. She apparently was also in the Dirty Dancing movie as Baby's mother, which I didn't even recognize her in that movie when I first started, but that was before I started to watch Gilmore Girls. The next memoir on this list is You Never Know. Matt and I did this for a buddy read a couple of weeks ago, and we are going to be reviewing it in our January and February entertainment review on February 17th. So stay tuned. Not February 17th. February 17th. The next book I wanted to mention will also be getting a review once me and Kathleen both read it. It's Angela's Ashes by Frank McCourt. This is a memoir of a guy named Frank. He tells the tale of him and his family growing up in Ireland. And I guess when this book was first published in the 1990s, it got a lot of backlash from the people in Ireland who lived in the town where Frank McCourt was from, because it depicted the war that was going on there in a pretty bad way or something. That's what my mother-in-law told me yesterday when we went out for lunch. So I gave this book 3.5 stars, and I will give a more thorough review of it once me and Kathleen both read it. Another book I heard from Olive at A Book Olive is I'll Be There For You, the one about friends. This book was written by a journalist named Kelsey Miller, and it's basically about her experience watching Friends, and each chapter talks about a specific episode, and there are parallels between this book, and also Friends, Lovers, and The Big Terrible Thing. So this book is called Directed by James Burrows. It's the memoir by the guy who directed Friends, and the crossover that has with this book is the scene where they talk about, oops, this is upside down. Where they talk about the episode where Carol and Susan get married, and how that was a very iconic episode for the time, because gay and lesbian couples were not featured widely on TV during the 90s and early 2000s, and same-sex couples were not as prominent on TV as they were back then. So that's what makes that episode so interesting to watch now. In my rewatch of Friends, I have seen it like 5 times, and it's one of my favorite episodes. This also talks about the side plot with Rachel's parents getting divorced, which is equally as emotional as Carol and Susan's wedding. That I have mixed emotions of watching that episode. I'm happy for Carol and Susan getting married, and I'm sad for Rachel's parents divorcing. So that is my wrap up for December and January for my From Manhattan to 2 Stars Hollow TBR. I will see you guys soon because I will be making another video tomorrow with another library haul and another a video for what's on my TBR for February. So I will see you guys tomorrow afternoon or maybe on Sunday depending on when I get the video done. Have a good day.